Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. On my channel, I do book reviews, I do wrap-ups for what I read each month, I do TBRs, and sometimes I get into some tags sprinkled here and there. And I'm also trying to do some more reading vlogs. I've done one, it's done well, but I'm trying to do some more. They take a little more time, but in the new year, it's coming. But for this video, we are going to talk about thriller books that I'm excited for in 2021. There are a lot. I had to comb through the list, but I have come up with 8 books that I'm excited about, and 3 of them I am super excited about. So if you're interested in what I'm looking forward to for 2021, thriller books wise, then let's get into it. Okay, so take a little sip. Got my water here because I'm thirsty. This needs to say I love my cats. I wish I could put an S here, but I'm not going to mess up the mug. But, you know, I have to, so I love my cats. But let's get to it. First up, coming out in January 2021, I have my laptop here. It is a book called The Island by C.L. Taylor. It says Lost meets the Hunger Games. I was already here for it from that. I used to love Lost, the TV show. I didn't stay through to the end because I got irritated with just not knowing what was going on, but I still loved it like the first 2 or 3 seasons. And I enjoyed Hunger Games, so all right. Let me read you a little bit of the synopsis. Welcome to the island, where your worst fears are about to come true. It was supposed to be the perfect holiday, a week-long trip for 6 teenage friends on a remote tropical island. But when their guide dies of a stroke, leaving them stranded, the trip of a lifetime quickly turns into a nightmare because someone on the island knows each of the group's worst fears, and one by one, they're coming true. 7 days in paradise, a deadly secret. Who will make it off the island alive? I am here for it, clearly. This is a thriller. It's also YA. I don't think I've read any YA thrillers yet, so looking forward to it. Let's move on. Next on the list is The Push, also coming out in January 2021. This is a long synopsis, so I'm just going to summarize it, sum it up. It says, Blythe Connor is determined that she will be the warm, comforting mother to her new baby Violet that she herself never had. But in the thick of motherhood's exhausting early days, Blythe becomes convinced that something is wrong with her daughter. She doesn't behave like most children do. Or is it all in Blythe's head? Her husband, Fox, says she's imagining things. Then we'll skip ahead a little bit. It says their son Sam is born, and with him, Blythe has the blissful connection she's always imagined with her child. But when life as they know it is changed in an instant, the devastating fallout forces Blythe to face the truth. Then at the bottom it says, The Push is a tour de force you will read in a sitting, an utterly immersive novel that will challenge everything you think you know about motherhood, about what we owe our children, and what it feels like when women are not believed. Okay, interesting. You will see a little bit of a theme here. I like thrillers that deal with different subjects, like the domestic thriller thing. I'm like, kind of over it. I don't really care about the husband-wife thing. I feel like that is so overdone. Things that have to do with like, my sister did this, or my brother did this, or did my... yeah, no. So again, I'm attracted to these thrillers that seem like they're a little bit different or deal with different subject matter. This next one I was attracted to from the title alone. It's called The Jigsaw Man. And this one comes out in March 2021. And the author just happens to be a Black woman. Okay, I mean, hey, I'm here for all of it. But I was like, oh, I saw her picture down there on Goodreads, and I was like, oh, look at that. Isn't that neat? And then I'll just read a little bit of the synopsis because it's another long one. On the day she returns to active duty with the Serial Crimes Unit, Detective Inspector Angelica Henley is called to a crime scene. Dismembered body parts from 2 victims have been found by the river. The modus operandi bears a striking resemblance to Peter Olivier, the notorious jigsaw killer, who has spent the past 2 years behind bars. As the body count rises, D.I. Angelica Henley is faced with an unspeakable new threat. Can she apprehend the copycat killer before Olivier finds a way to get to him first? Or will she herself become the next victim? Okay. So again, another one looking forward to. I have an asterisk next to this one, so this is one I'm more excited about. I love crime thrillers where you trying to piece together, I love puzzles, even real ones, physical ones, digital games, all of that. I've always loved them since I was a kid. So yes, that sounds very intriguing to me. Next up, we have The Perfect Daughter by DJ Palmer. And this one comes out in April 2021. Mystery thriller suspense, of course. A lot of these synopses, it's funny. What I found is that either the synopses are rather long or super short. There is, it's in my next video. You'll have to see. I'm going to do a separate video with my anticipated horror books for 2021 because I didn't want to combine them. I wanted to do them separately because, some people are interested in just the thrillers. Some people are interested in just the horror. And if you want both, you're going to have to watch both videos. But anyway, yeah, some of these, like I said, have no description, and then some have a lot. This is one that has a lot. So, going to try to summarize this long synopsis. Grace never dreamt she'd visit her teenage daughter, Penny, in the locked ward of a decaying state psychiatric hospital, charged with the murder of a stranger. There was not much question of her daughter's guilt. Police had her fingerprints on the murder weapon and the victim's blood on her body and clothes, but they didn't have a motive. None of this was conceivable the day Penny came into her life, Grace's life. Penny was found abandoned with a mysterious past, and it felt like fate brought Penny to her and her husband, Arthur. One determined psychiatrist, Dr. Mitch McHugh, helped discover someone new inside Penny, a young girl named Abigail. Is this the nameless girl who was abandoned in the park years ago? Mitch thinks Abigail is the key to Penny's past and to murder. So, if you watched my, November reading wrap-up, pretty sure I will link it here. I'm pretty sure it's my November reading wrap up. The Silent Patient I enjoyed because I was here for the whole psychiatric hospital, psychiatrists getting in their mind thing. I love that. I loved psychology when I was in high school. So when I saw this one, I was like, psychiatric hospital, there's a psychiatrist involved too. Yes. There's another one I had an asterisk by. Of course, I'm super excited for it. Gotta wait till April though. But anyway, I'm excited. Moving on. This one is probably on a few people's list. I'm assuming YA books are more popular, as we know. This is another YA book. Just said it. This one is called The Ivies by Alexa Dawn. Hope I'm saying that right. And it comes out in May 2021. So this one is a shorter synopsis, so I'm going to try to read it quickly. Everyone knows the Ivies, the most coveted universities in the United States. Far more important are the Ivies. The Ivies at Claflin Academy, that is. 5 girls with the same mission to get into the Ivy League by any means necessary. I would know. I'm one of them. We disrupt class ranks, club leaderships, and academic competitions, among other things. We improve our own odds by decreasing the fortunes of others because hyper-elite competitive college admissions is serious business, and in some cases, it's deadly. So, I have not read what they call these academia thrillers. I have not read one yet. There were a couple I was interested in, and then I decided to wait. So, we'll see if I get to this and if I enjoy it. All of these are tentative because I am picky, and one of the things that has to pass my checklist is the author's style of writing. I need a preview. I need to see how they write because I've had some books that I wish I had done that with. So I don't like wasting my time. I've said this before. I don't like to DNF a book. So I try to do as much research beforehand before I pick a book. So all of these, again, are tentative. I will wait for some previews to come out before I decide if I'm going to read these or not. But moving right along, this is one I know is on a lot of people's list for 2021 because this author, a lot of people read and a lot of people love. It was the first book I read. If you have not seen that video, I will link it here. I just started reading again in September 2020. So this was the first book I read by this author, and that is Riley Sager. And I enjoyed it. It was Lock Every Door. And again, you can check out the video to see what I had to say about that one. But this book is called Survive the Nights, and this one comes out in July 2021. This is another long synopsis, so let me read it and get back to you. let's summarize this, shall we? Obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car with a man who might be a serial killer. Josh Baxter, the man behind the wheel, is a virtual stranger to Charlie. They met at the campus ride board, each looking to share the long drive home to Ohio. There's something suspicious about Josh, from the holes in his story about his father to how he doesn't seem to want Charlie to see inside the car's trunk. What follows is a game of cat and mouse played out on night-shrouded roads and in neon-lit parking lots during an age when the only call for help can be made on a payphone and in a place where there's nowhere to run. Okay, this takes place in 1991. I'm familiar with that time. I might not look like it, but I am. I was middle school. Yes, so this should be fascinating. It does not have the best rating so far on Goodreads. I don't know how these people get copies. I guess, they're special. They get advanced copies, but we'll see. I'm probably still going to check it out. I already know I like Riley Sager's style, so I don't need a preview. I'm probably just going to check it out. Okay, next up on the list is A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. I think I've been saying all the authors. I hope so. If not, I'll have to put them on the screen. But this one comes out in August 2021. And this one is another YA. They also have it under LGBT. So should be interesting. And let's read a little bit of the synopsis. I'm going to try to chop this up and give you bits and pieces because it's another long one. It says for fans of Wilder Girls and Ninth House. Ninth House I was actually interested in. Don't know why. Didn't read it. But anyway. It says comes a dark, twisty, atmospheric thriller about a boarding school haunted by its history of witchcraft and two girls dangerously close to digging up the past. I think that's enough, don't you? I'll just try to read a little bit more. Felicity Morrow is back at Dalloway School. Perched in the Catskill Mountains, the centuries-old ivy-covered campus was home until the tragic death of her girlfriend. Now, after a year away, she's returned to graduate. And then we're going to skim down, and it says witchcraft is woven into Dalloway's history. The school doesn't talk about it, but the students do. In secret rooms and shadowy corners, girls convene. The main character, Felicity, meets a girl named Ellis Holly. She's a prodigy novelist at 17, and she's a so-called method writer. And then it says, when history begins to repeat itself, Felicity will have to face the darkness in Dalloway and in herself. And I guess her and Ellis team up to research what happens to the Dalloway Five, who I guess died or whatever. So, witchcraft too. I am looking for a good witchcraft book. I think I have some other books on my TBR that are dealing with witchcraft, but yeah, hopefully I read one of those before I get to this one, but I'm here for it. I'm interested. And last but not least, we have My Sweet Girl by Amanda. Oh my Lord. I don't even want to try to say this name. You know what? I'm just going to put it on the screen because I don't want to mess her name up. This one comes out in September of 2021. This is an Indian author, so let's give it up for, reading more books, people of color. Again, I support everyone, but of course, Anyway, this is another one that's a little bit long, so I'm going to try to summarize it. Here we go. It says, ever since she was adopted from a Sri Lanka orphanage, Paloma has had the best of everything. Schools, money, and parents so perfect that she fears she'll never live up to them. Now at 30 and recently cut off from her parents' funds, Paloma decides to sublet the second bedroom of her overpriced San Francisco apartment to Arun, who recently moved from India. Paloma has to admit it feels good helping someone find their way in America until Arun discovers Paloma's darkest secret, one that could jeopardize her own fragile place in this country. And then it says, before Paloma can pay Arun off, she finds him face down in a pool of blood. Paloma flees the apartment, but by the time the police arrive, there's no body and no evidence that Arun ever even existed in the first place. I don't know why I didn't have a star next to this one. Ooh, I like it. A missing dead body? Ransom? Or blackmail? Okay. So, I hope I mentioned some books here that you have not seen elsewhere, because I really tried to dig through the list and find some that I hadn't seen in other videos, and then I also had to stop watching other people's videos so I don't copy things. So, again, hope this was helpful. Hope I gave you some books to look forward to, some thriller books in 2021. And of course, stay tuned to see what I get into in 2021. which of these books I read and my thoughts, all of that. And in my next video, as I said, I will be going over the horror books that I'm looking forward to in 2021. So maybe Spooky Nakia will return. If you've seen my Dilemmas of a Horror Nerd tag video, if you haven't, check it out. I'll link it here, but maybe she'll return for my anticipated horror books for 2021. Stay tuned to find out. But until my next video, stay well, unplug, hide away. Nothing wrong with that. And I will see you next time. Bye.